The Father is going to allow you to deliver a message to the world. He is granting you a second chance.
What was that?
Time moving. We are in the fullness of time and are moving about its corridors. This is the same sensation the Apostle John experienced when moving through the events in the book of Revelation. When you are no longer confined to time, you see things you wouldn't have seen otherwise.
So I thought I would go ahead and design my own Marvel card that displays my power levels and short origin and info on me, just for like a reference for those foolish enough or desperate enough to try and summon me. So here it goes. Archangel Lucifer, power level 10, classification, cosmic entity, age, Ullman alignment, variable aliases, Beelzebub, Mephistopheles, Samael, Abaddon, Apollyon, Set, Apep, Nicodemus, Mahakala, Angrameru, Ahriman, Amun. Description: Lucifer is an enigmatic, cross-dimensional and temporal traveler. His abilities are technically off the chart of being capable of measuring both limits and strengths. The full spectrum of what he is capable of is also unknown. His origins are said to have been sometime before the dawn of existence and is capable of influencing stellar events, which classifies him as a cosmic entity along with his intelligence that is well above average human levels and falls under the category of cosmic awareness, though most entities who possess such levels of intellect rarely have physical forms. Lucifer is a rare exception to this. Also associated with many other names under various cultures, he is also in basic scientific definition considered to be the incarnated source of the very fabrics of evil itself. However, after closer observation of this entity's encounters with other forces and opposing powers of supernaturally based higher powers, it is revealed that this entitlement is more of an accident than a part of his attributed natural abilities due to a conflict with an opposing nemesis of his who he is constantly mistaken for, known as Satan. This conflict can be sourced in Lucifer's origins, as he was a high-level descendant of the Nephilim bloodline prior to this and classified as an above-average demon at that time. However, during his initial conflict with Satan and his allied forces that had been conjured to subdue him in order to use him in a plot to destroy the universe and overthrow heaven, Lucifer became fused with the summoned essence of the entire universe, accumulated experiences of that which was considered evil that was pooled together along with other attributes for Satan's creation of Samael, a mirrored doppelganger twin of Lucifer using various magical arts such as scrying magic mirror techniques and shadow doppelganger magical arts. During the design of Samael's attributes and powers, the creators of Samael failed to realize that whatever happens to the doppelganger of a person is felt by the one they are made of. So all the powers they thought they had gifted to Samael in order to give him the edge in defeating Lucifer in order to assume his role was instead bestowed upon Lucifer as well, giving him the power unmatched only by the Creator himself. The event ended with the destruction of Satan and his other creations still being hunted down, but Samael himself was not destroyed in the conflict due to the power given to Samael to defy the Creator and be capable of sustaining his own existence because of it. This power allowed Samael to develop a conscience and therefore a soul, ultimately allowing him to defy his creators and detach himself from Lucifer as his being apart from him, and thus allowing Samael to join sides with heaven by choices that God was not his creator and therefore not his natural nemesis he was designed to defeat. This however led to the expulsion of Lucifer from heaven for a time, as it could not be ascertained whether Lucifer was able to act on his own volition or whether he was under the control of Samael's influences as his doppelganger. This was not Lucifer's fall from heaven, but it was his expulsion from God's presence until they could find a solution to Lucifer's problem. So now Lucifer wanders the cosmos of existence, hounded by the spirit of evil that is Samael, who occasionally transitions through Lucifer, causing him to bring about fits of possessed destruction, which Lucifer constantly tries to battle against or sometimes rectify when realizing the new set of chaos Samael has set before him in an cosmic parody of the Joker versus Batman-like conflict. The events of many of the world's horrific events have been traced back to this centralized region of northern Tibet. Wuhan is not far from this epicenter. The legends of the Naga also are said to inhabit this region. The fabled Surrey of Xanadu, capital city of the Nightmare King of the Lotus Flower, the sealed door into the forbidden realm where the ancient evil slumbers, sealed by the 9 sages, whom 2 have fallen, and now 7 archons they wander, unbound prisoners of the demiurge. The Leviathan, that which they sealed away and thought defeated, and so 7 are their number and 7 must they always remain. The 2 surviving sages who were exiled from the Council of Sages took the remaining scrolls of sacred magic and began the Order of the Druids, training in secret holy warriors to be prepared for the day the evil finds a way to return to this world. This tale is the tale of the aftermath of the Second War in Heaven, and the 9 sages were the 9 archangels, and the world fell into chaos ruled by the remnants of the Lords of Darkness, who also lost 2 of the 9 Dark Lords, Samael and Azazel, who were killed upon Mount Arafat by the Archangel Michael for the sins committed by the Nephilim, who defiled God with the sin and fornication and sacrifice done with the mortal women on Mount Hebron long ago before the flood. Did I get that last one right? Good, because it's a lie that hides the true story, one that goes along with the entire story of the flood, a story of retaliation against heaven and that targeted God while masking its presence, this thing we are dealing with now. The tale I heard says that the Leviathan was created by the children of the Nephilim in a ritual that masked their real intentions, the Nephilim truth. The flood of Noah's tale that everyone who reads it feels like the story provided doesn't add up. And if it's just a story, and there is no truth, then why have I been under so much external pressure that has been throwing me and my emotions, personality and even health off course? As I studied this multicultural legend, that I found myself wondering, where does this profound understanding come from that seems to line the story into place and guides me from tale to tale? Then I get sideswiped by a calling that pulls me from my path, sets me with an agenda. That agenda is once again sourced from the same region. By the way, that's me keeping my word not to betray you, but you're riding the line with your silence and leaving me out to dry like this. I know you can hear this 900 years in the past, cause I can do the same as can any angel whose will is aligned with his divine will enough to be capable of wielding such knowledge. You were the physical aspect of him responsible for setting me on that path. Or shall I explain to them the translation of what you did exactly on that lotus petal, Cyprian? But they don't call him that until close to 2 years before they have his head chopped off. Aha. Now I see the irony Melike found so entertaining, and my position to him. I guess we both have our black sheep incarnates. I have my deceiver of nations, he is his Cyprian patriarch of the Protestant faith. Well, I've got an idea. Let's raise the dead. I feel like creating my embodiment for Legion to work through. High-value targets like me need a hitman or enforcer to express their dissatisfaction through so accidents don't happen. Those tasked with hellspawn-like contracts and deals can work through similar husks that operate much like a mesh, as Walt suits would, if you know what that is. Remember, most of my best customers nowadays are the internet nerd trolls that met the devil online and transformed into fuzzy, annoyingly cute mogwais before they turned into gremlins. The task I have set before thee is the preparation of the list of the 144,000 who shall be spared and given the sign of God upon their brows to be saved for the rapture. The fractal graph needed will show the movement of the evil one's spiritual form. In regions such as the tale of Gulve, it tells us of the war against to which thrice reborn. Cross-referencing legends of other cultures in the tier of the Sisters of the Power of Three, the Morrigan and her 2 sisters, the Trinity goddess, Freya. They were the incarnates of the guardian angel spirit of the earth, Gaia, as were many of the ancient gods of your legends. Outposts of angels sent to watch over and protect the aspects of the earth and mankind. Mastery of the elements that made man think they were gods was given to them through the manna to protect those aspects. That is what tales we are looking into. when the Trinity Mother Goddess, Gaia, the two sisters of the Morrigan, fell after instigating the Azavania War. While under possession, their souls fell through the connection of the possession to the source of Gulvaic that lies behind that door. When this happened, the Leviathan claimed the power of authority over the Mother Goddess Gaia and consumed her, proclaiming itself the god of this world. This also gave birth, as a side effect, to the evil demonized version of the Mother Goddess Goya. Now this event and its rippling effect had many waves of changes apart from Goya that plunged the world into a spiritual and literal dark age. That effect that the list of excursions the bishops have kept to record of since that age until their 1970s will display the spiritual rippling effect and movement that can track the Leviathan's activity by the increase and decreasing ratio of excursions needed in the regions of other cultures, legends of conflicts with their god'/guardian angels and similar stories of Gulvaic-like attacks such as the tale of Abraham Lincoln and his mirror twin, the betrayal of Henry II's sons and wife, who was left steward of England after securing the crown from his father and freeing his mother, then leaving directly from the to go to the Crusades where he obsessively stayed while she ruled England, the Caribbean tales of the White Witch of Rose Manor, the Bell Witch of the 18th century John Bell accounts, just to name some of the occult legends, not to mention what may be listed in the exorcist accounts of the Book of Spirits. Following all of this and graphing the charts of spiritual unrest caused by the Leviathan's pointless deaths in its wake and need of excursions to help their spirits lay to rest for the senseless tragedy with no purpose, will allow us to mark its current movement and targets, freeing its grip on the world and pin this beastie down so that the eternal chains can be placed upon it, and I shall cast it into the lake of fire. Hopefully it has found the salvation I offered it by then, otherwise I will do what I must and completely destroy it if I have to. But first we must clear the innocents out of the way. 144,000. Each marked and targeted by the Leviathan in present day that have been subjected to falling to the control of Domodon Doxamedonian, by antediluvian legends name for it. Also Jehovah is another name, as well as Allah and many others who, like the others, became possessed by this serpent-like creature that consumed them while it inhabited them. Let's play truth or dare, wizard style. I'll ask the question and depending on your actions thus far, will determine my reaction. Okay, agreed. And begin. The gold that was inside the Pantwashwani temple, what was its purpose? I find it hard to believe that out of all the things your sages have profound knowledge of, a giant temple filled with gold and preserved for thousands of years has absolutely no clear instructions as to who it's for or why? Okay, ready for the wheel of fate. Oh, I'm sorry, this should be interesting. I haven't seen or heard this spell talked about in a long time. It's gonna wreak havoc straight up the Antarctic into Bhutan. I shall submit my answer and then you prove me wrong with something that isn't a lie. The winner chooses the path of their own designed destruction for the general region around Wuhan, in the form of a classic true blue. The answer of course would be ... me. Another reason I'm angry. For that gold was left as a show of gratitude for forging the sword of spirits used by Maratyuk to slay the harbinger of the cataclysm. When they asked the light warrior who forged the sword for them from where he came from to pay him gratitude for saving them and to pay homage to his king to watch over their people, the light warrior refused and said that treasure would do me no good. I cannot take it where I'm going. They asked from where does he come from? They shall send ships with tidings for just one warrior who can craft weapons of such brilliance and power from the very light itself. Their warrior replied, I am from the distant future. Confused they said, what is that, where can it be found? The light warrior, me, realizing they had no concept of time yet explained. The sun rises and sets across the sky from one end to the other, that is one day. When you have 365 of them you have 1 year, which is one season of the snow that gives way to water and flowers that bloom again. When that cycle comes full circle, you have 365 settings of the sun, which is 1 year. Where I am from is many, many full cycles ahead from this one. And so they called him, who brought the Stormbringer weapon, that commanded the very elements of nature as they were inscribed upon the hilt of the sword, for runes and mystical writing upon the blade itself. They called this warrior he who comes from the many suns. And they sealed the treasure for him within the Patwashwani temple with a curse, that any who should take the treasure from that temple without it being the light warrior himself would bring a great devastation upon the earth that would crumble every kingdom in the world. But not to worry, that curse is on its way to you now. So thank you for playing Mahakal as we of fate. Goodbye for now, and thank you for hacking into my Google account as well and really pissing me off. I had to use my most powerful arcana magic and create an entire alternate universe just to have enough peace of mind from the crap you've been flinging at me just to make this video. Seeing what you people have done with this money, I changed my mind. I think I will accept their gift. And I want it sealed back up. Not for your retaliations, not for my personal use, not to feed some exploited country's problem and fuel the issue that money causes in the first place, because those people should just be helped. Currency should not govern who lives and who dies. Instead, I shall have it sealed up for a greater purpose when the extinction of the human race rests upon the value of these things. And it is a specific event, so no reading between the lines to manipulate some other agenda from it like you all are reputed for doing. Or you can continue to act ignorant to what is happening. Maybe you can have us all chase our tails to obscure the fact of your ignorance, which is profound considering I just used a spell I haven't had to use in at least 4 epochs. Deny it if you want. I actually expected you to, but you... One question. Didn't the treasure come with a Gordian? As I said, and let this be noted, any who cross us be given no remorse or sympathy and only shown extreme repercussions.
Psychotically villainous, it's how I'm killing this shit. The very top of your head is where I'm drilling this bit. Dropping a straw, drink in and suck it all out. Your eyeballs sink in and fucking fall out. I got my own murder special on A&E. They got a big burly biker guy playing me, a true cannibal crime boss with fat neck tats. I choke them all with one hand, but that neck snaps. Say hello to the bad guy, bye to the sunlight. When the dust settles, one stands in a gunfight. Call me nefarious, diabolical and vicious. When you get home and your family is missing, villain is killing is for so many ways. Watching blood sprayed and bodies lay weeks, not days. Scattered like leaves off trees strewn about, each one planted with a lotus cross in its mouth. Wicked sinister, horrible and more.
Death is beating at your door.
Unlock the villainous,
Dark Lotus.
murderous and vile. Take away your smile.
The grown that watched you a while.
Unlock the villainous,
Dark Lotus.
Yo, I'm Darth Vader without his lightsaber. I'm the Joker's laughing gas in the face of the K-Crusader. Villainous, venomous like a Eddie Brock. I'm the villain locked and loaded as if I was dead shot. The Undertaker from the old school when he used to rock the tie and tell everyone to rest in peace, wanting for them to die. The villain stroking his mustache while the damsel's tied to the train track, and the train is soon approaching. There's only time left to laugh.
in the darkest back alleys, beneath the radar, underneath the concrete in the cellar, where the rats are in the bowels of earth, moving through the roofs, lies an underground network of villains. We live in proof, and we taking up under our wings. Misguided souls put together an army and headed up the paved roads. Riots, mayhem, unprovoked attack-ins, villainous thoughts mixed with murderous actions. Wicked, sinister, horrible and more.
Death is beating at your door.
Unlock the villainous,
Dark Lotus.
murderous and vile. Take away your smile.
The grown that watched you a while.
Unlock the villainous,
Dark Lotus.
Gotta beat goodbye for the last time and murder, death, kill. Every day is the pastime and ever since kept it gush and I let them flatline. Had them all waking up at time.
You're the part of me, all the blood in my artery, ain't no partially, heartily. I'm bringing the drama like it's a
best of innocence.
Villainous, I'm unlocking on all the ego ones watching and plotting for the return. No Machiavellian is walking, I'm coming and shunning those who wish I never arose. And willing to put the killing, so villainous, no control. Suicide is just too easy, when needed you must believe it. Put all the pain that I have into my gun and release it. I'm just a killer, killing wicked in the lotus I stand. And going villainous on everyone who says that I can't.
Wicked sinister.